seemingly letting this move go and doesn't have an answer. Now the Michigan stroke is on the Virginia foul ball as Michigan is just moving out with this move. Virginia pace has settled a little bit, and it is actually allowing Notre Dame to have some contact with them again. Notre Dame in third, pushing the foul ball up. I don't think the Virginia Coxswain sees that. She's fixated on the Michigan crew, which is now about a turn in front of her. And if she looks to her right, she'll see a hard charging Notre Dame crew. Now they've caught it and they seem to stymie the move. And we have Notre Dame having moved up into third, about a turn on Virginia. And then we have both California schools and Bucknell all within a few seats. Bucknell now moving up out on Cal Davis. Virginia has put a move on to break Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not moving up in there, and Michigan is sitting out as we go through the 1,000 full length up. They were through at about 2:54, which is a good time, and now they seem to be taking another move to open up and move away.
And pulling into the awards dock now is Grand Valley State's women's JV. Lightweight 8 from the bow, Jones, Sarnecki, Bruner, Hagurt, Vogel, Scooter, Manson, Turner, and Hart in the coxswain seat.
She's moving out, and we have Notre Dame trying to make another move. They've popped their foul ball back up into the Virginia coxswain, and this time she sees it, asking for an answer from her 2B, but now her attention is simply to the crew behind them instead of the crew in front of them, as Michigan is walking away with this race, seemingly with ease. They're clearly working hard. There's a lot of froth on the oars, as their coach has say a little too much froth on the oars, but they are moving and swinging nicely. So that's what we have, and what you will see as the race is Class 500 is Michigan easily up front, Virginia bound astern on Notre Dame. Notre Dame open water over UC Davis, who's now 4 or 5 seats up on Bucknell and UCSB, who are essentially even, maybe a seat for UCSB as they come over into the final for the medal in the men's second varsity.
And Michigan raising the rate to 36-37 strokes a minute. Ohio State pressing. Correct that, Virginia pressing. Notre Dame.
All the gooselings, get out of the lane! Gooselings, get out of the lane! Turn around, wave off! Go Blue!
Virginia 38.
Go Blue!
Michigan 36 and a half.
On Washington State. Washington State half a length up on College of Charleston. Nice push here from Washington State in lane 4. They are now about 3 feet behind Penn State. Underrating Penn State a little bit. Penn State tagging about 35 strokes per minute. Washington State about 34. Washington State now about 2 feet over Penn State. Penn State has overlapping stern and bow decks with Charleston. Charleston's in 3rd, and 4th place is sitting the Ducks of Oregon. They have about a deck behind Charleston, and then half a length back to Purdue. Purdue sitting just a few feet up on Wichita State. And Rochester is open water behind. Washington State has now moved up a deck on Penn State. Looking very smooth. Really nice clean rowing here from both those crews. A little throwing open of the back out a couple of bowmen, but other than that, they're really, really nice and controlled as lightweight tend to be. Washington State now taking a move here. Washington State starting to open up, and they're about a half a length up now on Penn State. Penn State starting to lose a little bit of the miss that they've had on the catch up to this point. And Charleston making a nice push and has moved into 3rd. Charleston now moving nicely on Penn State. Washington State is overlapping stern and bow decks with Penn State for the lead. Penn State in 2nd. 3 feet up now on Charleston, who's moved all the time.
Pulling into the docks now, your University of Michigan Wolverines, the winners of the men's JV 8, from bow to stern, Mello, O'Connor, Neubauer, Caldwell, Vandermeulen, Poles, Bellifer, Perrin, and your coxswain, Leversey.
State is about a length up now on Penn State. Penn State about 2 feet up on Charleston. Those two boats are having a good race here for 3rd. Charleston stroke looking over and very aggressive look on his face. He's really pushing hard. And that aggressiveness has paid off, and they're now level with Penn State. Both crews are now moving a little bit here on Washington State. Washington State now only about 6-7 feet up on both those crews. We have about a length of open water back to the tight race here for 4th, which is still off of 3 of those crews, Purdue, Oregon, and Wichita State within a feet of each other. And the 3 lead crews just pushing away and pushing away. Washington State's margin is just basically holding. They look sort of as if they're absorbing anything that people can throw. Oh, we have some nice digging. Oh, we have a Pop Orlock on the 2-seat who stopped of Washington State's boat. This is pretty unfortunate. He's struggling with it. The other rowers are trying to row. Oregon is getting the best of that match and is in 3rd place, about half a length up on, Wichita State is now half a length up on Oregon, who's got a seat on Purdue. And then Charleston is just moving out. Those guys, they're feeling it. It's a nice solid rhythm. They've got momentum on their side. They look to be about astern with Penn State, who, if all holds true right now, will clinch 8th. And then my last bit of call here, Wichita State is going to have a length on Oregon, who's dead level with Purdue. So Washington State is trying to make a game of it and walk into them. That's it for me.
Coming into the final 200 here, it's still Penn State and the College of Charleston duking it out here in the B final of men's light 4. Both crews brought up the stroke rate. Couple beats here in the final push.
Michigan, hail to the victors, guys. Good job.
It appears the College of Charleston has a couple seats on Penn State as they wind it up into the final 40 meters here. And the battle for 3rd is still intense in the race behind them as they come to the line. It's still Penn State and Charleston. Back to deck. Penn State trying to bring it up. Down by a seat. But the College of Charleston takes them by approximately a seat and a half. With Penn State in 2nd in the battle of 3rd. And Wichita State will be your third place finishers, followed by Purdue.
Be careful with the weight coming. Go blue!
Start of the men's light weight varsity 4. Everyone is aligned. The flag is not up yet, though.